All right, good morning. Today I'm going to walk you through a video on how to use Amplify, which is our science curriculum. So what you want to do is make sure when you're in Google that you're logged in with your school account, all right? And then up in the upper right-hand corner of Google, you should have some extensions, and you want to click Clever. Um, So that should open up. It may require you to log in, but once you get into Clever, this is your Clever desktop. And look for the orange square that says Amplify on it. Okay, that's what we're looking for. And when you first log into Clever, you're going to see all the units that we will cover in 8th grade. Okay. So we will start off this next week with this unit, Harnessing Human Energy. It's 11 lessons that will take us about 3 weeks to do. After that, we're going to do Force and Motion, which is a really fun unit. Because of distance learning, we have made the decision to take out these internships. So there's 2 internship programs. There's the Force and Motion engineering one and a natural selection engineering one. So as of right now, those are out. If we get back to campus, they may come back in. So after Force and Motion, then we will do about 4 weeks for magnetic fields and light waves, then Earth, Moon, and Sun, and then natural selection and evolutionary history. And these 2, natural selection and evolutionary history, for sure will be second semester. So we'll probably end first semester either at magnetic fields or light waves. So if you were to click on Harnessing Human Energy, it'll take you here, and you see we have 3 chapters, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and there are 4 lessons in chapter 1, 3 in chapter 2, and 4 in chapter 3. So you can go straight to chapter 1, what is energy? And you can see we've got 3 units here. Welcome to the Energy Research Lab, investigating energy claims, identifying kinetic energy and potential energy, and then energy inventions. So if we were doing lesson 1.1, then you would click on and let me make sure all my guides are closed. Okay. So what you will see when you log in is you will come to this first section here, sorting tool, introducing physical science. Okay. And there's some information here, right? There's it tells you to launch the Harnessing Human Energy sorting tool activity. Okay. Shows you the goal, what to do, drag objects you think have energy to things that have energy bin. All right. Let's see if I can. Here. Leave objects you're not sure about in the toolbar, and then some tips here. So if you click the link there, should open up the activity for us. While waiting for that sorting tool to open up, I'll just point out to you, see, this is a section that I have as a teacher, that's why the T is there, but you will have section 1, the sorting tool, section 2, which is the sim, and then section 3 is where you're going to find your homework. All right, so you'll work through those units there. So in our sorting tool here, you can see that we have different objects over here, and you have to decide, a soccer ball flying through the air, does that have energy? Or does that not have energy? If you think it has energy, you can put it there. Soccer ball not moving, you say, I don't think that has any energy, I'll put it over there, right? So this is just a sorting tool. And then whenever you sort them, you can always go back to your instructions, make sure you've done what you're supposed to do. So you can also click your menu here. Sometimes we'll have activities that will tell you to go click the menu and find a different activity. So if that were the case and you needed to reference something else, okay, that's going to be over here in your menu. And then when you have completed the assignment, you can just hit the hand in button. All right, that turns it into me. So I get a notification that you've done the assignment and I can give you a grade for that. It's giving me a warning here because not all the objects were placed. All right. So you do the sorting tool and then you would come over to section 2 where it says, we're going to explore harnessing human energy simulation. So open up the simulation. Sometimes these things take a little while to load. I've noticed lately Amplify has been pretty slow, so just give it a second. Again, we've got a menu here, so sometimes there'll be specific simulations they want you to run, or they'll have different challenges over here. For this one, there aren't any. We're in the build portion of this, so it tells us to select an energy source. So a solar panel is a great energy source. So we should be able to, oh, I see, we just pick what we want here. So let's say we want to go with the sun. Okay. Now we want to drag our device. Now you'll notice these devices have different components here, like a jigsaw puzzle, right? So this for solar has this rounded connector. We wouldn't want to grab the engine and try to connect it there because that's not going to fit, right? But a solar panel is going to fit. Sun affects solar panel, right? And now you can see that we've got kind of this triangular shape where a solar panel might move a motor, right? And the goal here is to run an activity where we've daisy chained these up where we can convert different forms of electricity, and our analyze feature is going to give us data here. So we've got 70 units of energy that are transferred in, right? We've got 70 thermal units here. And then out, we get 70 thermal units out of our motor, all right? And then I can run this simulator and look at different times as I drag this. So the simulators are pretty powerful and kind of fun. You can build them in different ways, all right? You can go back and start over, and you can, if we can add to this motor, we can come and find something that would fit, like it looks like maybe a flywheel would fit on there, which kind of makes sense. So you can build your own daisy chain and run them and analyze them, all right? And then when you're done with this, you'll go over to your homework. So you'll do, I know, crazy, right? You do first section first, and then the second section, and then you get to your homework. So here you get asked questions that you'll answer directly here. Do you think a moving skateboard has energy? Why or why not? So you'll type in your answer here. Do you think people used energy before modern times? Why or why not? And you'll type your answer in here. And then question number 3 is this multiple choice. How well do you think you understand energy? Right? So this is kind of like an exit ticket where you'll say, I have no clue. I didn't even know what day it was today. Or, hey, I think I understand everything there is to know about energy and I'm ready to take the test right now. When you answer all of this and you're ready to turn this in, down in the bottom right hand corner, this magenta purple-ish color button will activate, and you can just click that and you'll be able to hand that in. Okay. One thing we haven't talked about much is that when you get questions, when I give you a question to answer like this, that's open-ended. Do you think a moving skateboard has energy? Why or why not? You need to be in the practice of answering questions in complete sentences. Okay. So there needs to be a noun, there needs to be a verb, we need to have punctuation, there needs to be capitalization. So in eighth grade, it is completely reasonable to expect students to answer all of their questions in complete sentences unless stated otherwise. All right. So there will be times that I assign these in Google Classroom. So you'll know exactly what assignment I'm looking for. These homework assignments I can come in and grade and then give you credit, which will go into Aries, right? So it may be that when you come in to the classroom, you'll see that I've posted a couple of videos or maybe one video and say, hey, we're doing lesson 1.1 and we're doing lesson 1.2. And the expectation would be that you will log in to Amplify. And if there's a warm up, then you will do the warm up section. All right. And that you will just work through every section. Okay. Some of these you'll see there's section number 2 is a teacher led discussion. So if there are sections that I believe need to have me direct it, I'm either going to do that live or I will record a video. So what you'll want to do is when you get to a section that says teacher-led discussion, you'll want to look on a Google Classroom to see if there is a video there that says Harnessing Human Energy, Chapter 1, Lesson 1.2, Teacher-Led Discussion, right? So I'm going to title them to match up with what unit we're in and teacher-led discussion. All right, so that it makes it very easy to identify what we are, which video goes with which section of the unit. And then you can move on to section 3, which is a hands-on activity. Now, this is where it's going to be a little bit challenging because we don't, like if we were in the classroom, right, we would obviously be manipulating different aspects of either experiments or demonstrations so that you can understand some of the concepts. We can't do that because we're not together. So these sections, if I feel like there's something that's important that you identify, like you understand this, then I'll shoot a video that will go along with this. So you'll see again the hands-on video for this unit. If it's not there, that means I don't think we need to address that right now. All right, and you can move on to the next section. All right, and then you keep moving through, and you get to section 5, and here's your homework. All right, and you'll notice it's a real like homework is not crazy in Amplify. All right. You identify and answer questions that are necessary to show that you understand the concept, but they don't give homework for homework's sake. So you'd answer this question and then you would click on 2 and answer this question. And then part 3 is the last portion of that. And when you're done, again, you hit hand in. Sometimes there is an extension. So here we have homework, here we have homework. It's a family homework experience. You do not have to worry about doing these assignments unless I specifically state, okay, I want you to do this. All right. So unless I give you specific direction, you do not have to worry about family homework assignments. All right. And if I do want you to do these, they will be assigned in Google Classroom. Okay. Of course, you can always reach out to me in Amplify and ask. So 4 lessons. And again, on this unit, we will get through, this will be week 1, this will be week 2, and this will be week 3. So I will try to post videos for all of these at the beginning of the week, and you can kind of self-pace yourself. So, with 4 lessons to accomplish in 3 class sessions, you're going to have to manage your time appropriately. All right. At the beginning of, let me go back to like force and motion here. A lot of these units, when we start, there is a pre-unit assessment, and then there is a mid-unit assessment, and there is a final assessment. Okay. So for many units, we will take an assessment at the beginning before we start, and that is to give me an idea of where you are. This will be an assignment that and I haven't quite figured out how I want to incorporate this into your grade, but it is an assignment as a pre-unit assignment that will help your grade. But I'm not going to let it hurt your grade. So this is to measure how much information you already know. It doesn't seem fair to penalize you if you don't already know it. That's why we're taking the class. So I haven't quite devised a method to help this, to make this only helps your grade, but that's what's going to happen. Okay. The mid-unit and the final. So here is the final assessment for this. Oh, I know why. Final assessment is here. End of the unit assessment. This is like the test. So this is definitely going to affect your grade. So you'll want to, because this is going to test to make sure that you've learned the material that you should learn. So we'll talk more about that when I make those assignments. Just understand that for many of these units, there is a pre-assessment, a mid-unit assessment, and a final assessment. All right. So for the next 3 weeks, we're going to be in this harnessing human energy. I'll close the sorting tool here. And the rest of today, I want you to just poke around with, I'll move this over here so we can see it here. With chapter 1, what is energy? These assignments will be due next week, and the accompanying videos will be all posted. But you can start looking at lesson 1.1 and kind of familiarize yourself with this. And again, there's information here that you don't have because I'm the teacher, but you can play around with the sorting tool. You can play around with the simulator and get an idea of how Amplify works. All right. So you can see here as you do this, the simulation, you've got several pages of questions they want you to answer and try to work through. All right. So for the rest of class today, make sure you can log in to Amplify. Go ahead and go to Harnessing Human Energy, Chapter 1, Lesson 1.1, and play around with the sorting tool and the simulator. Make sure that you ask me any questions that you might have. I want to make sure today that you can log into Clever, that you can log into Amplify, that the sorting tool and the simulator all work on your computer. All right, so this is really important for you to spend the rest of class period today sorting with the sorting tool, simulating with the simulator. Make sure that we can get into Clever and Amplify, because on Monday we're going to start off with this unit, and I don't want to have a bunch of time wasted on a short day trying to help people log in and trying to explain all the different elements. So today is the rest of today is a very easy day. It's a very simple day where I just want you to experiment, kind of play around with this, and get familiar um, with Amplify, so we know you can log in and that you're familiar with all the different elements. Okay, so go ahead and do that now. I will be still here in the room. If you have questions, you can type them in the chat, or you can send me questions through Remind, and we'll make sure that you're all set and ready to go for Monday.